Okay, that's not true.
No, it is what I like to call, this is a very technical term, people. You may want to write this one down. If you're driving, just wait and when you get home or to where you're going, write this word down. It's very technical. It's called bullshit. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Conversations with a Digital Strategist. I am one of your hosts, Jess, and I am here with my amazing co host, Dee. Hi, Dee.
Hi, everybody.
Aw. Okay, so today we're going to get right into it, and we are having a conversation about touch points. Touch points. Okay? Touch points, people. Okay, so how many of you have heard a version of what I'm getting ready to say? Here's what people tell you. Random people, business school. Okay, business school. If you went to business school, shout out to Wayne State University, my business school. What is it, like the Mike Ilitch School of Business now? It wasn't Mike Ilitch when I went there. I mean, we all know, who Mike Ilitch is, but that wasn't the name of it back then. Now I'm dating myself. But anyway, shout out to Wayne State. Okay, so in business school and other professionals, experts in the field of marketing, they talk about touch points. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. What's a touch
What's a
point?
touch point?
Okay.
Okay, so a touch point, they say that a business, a company, a brand needs to have X number of touch points with customers before the customer will buy from them.
Okay.
And a touch point is they have to see your message. So they have to see your commercial. They have to hear your radio commercial. They have to hear your podcast. They have to hear see your video. They have to see your reel or your TikTok or your image post or your article, your blog post, or whatever way you put your message out there, they're saying that a customer, before they purchase from you, a cold person, and cold means they don't know you, they've never seen your brand before, they are completely cold. In order to get them to the point where they're ready to buy from you, they have to see your message X number of times.
Okay, that's not true.
No, it is what I like to call, this is a very technical term, people. You may want to write this one down. If you're driving, just wait and when you get home or to where you're going, write this word down. It's very technical. It's called bullshit. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called bullshit. Now, I call bullshit in 2024. This may have been the case, circa in the 1900s. Isn't that what the kids say now? They say, oh, you were born in the 1900s. I'm like, shut up, child. What do you know? You don't know anything. 1900s. I got your 1900s. But in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he probably created marketing and touch points. So back in the day, touch points may have been a thing. But today, with all of the messages that are being thrown at you, with all of the psychological needs people have to have something no one else has, the psychological need to have what others have, the psychological need to not be left out, shout out to FOMO. With all of those, it is very common for people to see a message, see the product, want the product, buy the product.
They don't even have to see a message.
They ain't got to
Because
see a
I'm going
message.
to tell you right now, I can go to a food truck gala where all these food trucks are,
Mhm.
and I don't know any of them.
Mhm.
And it's nothing for me to walk up. The food looks good. The people are saying it's good.
Mhm.
And I may never have their food again.
Mhm.
I've purchased things off the internet.
Yeah.
I didn't know the company. It
Right.
looked cool. It looked good. It was what I wanted. It was at the right price, and I bought it.
Right.
So I know about touch points,
Mhm.
and I'm probably dating myself more than you are.
Mm.
But I mean, yes, back in the day, we had such a thing as, because we watched a lot of television, we had commercials, listened to a lot of radio, we had commercials, and people were just talking.
Right.
We didn't even get an opportunity to necessarily see it.
Right.
They were just talking about it, and people would buy it.
Mhm.
But I'm going to let you explain touch points,
Mhm.
because I have never been one that said, you know what, I'm just not going to get that unless I see it 14 times.
Right.
I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it.
Exactly.
I don't do that.
Exactly. And I think, when the experts get out there, and I'm not going to say gurus here, you guys are used to me saying gurus. I'm not going to say gurus because this isn't a fad. This is literally something I learned in business school. Okay. So it is a very old foundational marketing idea. And if you were to Google it, because I recently did Google it. I recently Googled it. I said, how many touch points, because it's changed over the years, how many touch points does a company need to have with a customer, with a potential customer,
Mhm.
before they will make a purchase?
Hmm.
And I wrote it down. I counted between 7 and 50.
Oh, if I have to wait 50 times to see something about your product or service, I'm gonna tell you now, little known fact, I'm not buying crap from you.
Buying nothing
I'm
from
not
you.
buying nothing from you.
I mean, so what you're saying is that, but there's two issues here. One, 50 is a very big number. Like, come on, give me a break. But also, why is it so wildly different between all of these experts? I mean, you've got Forbes telling you that it's 7. You've got Entrepreneur Magazine saying that it's 14. You've got,
Is there a conspiracy theory
I mean,
in the far left corner?
in the far left corner. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with these people. But what I can tell you is, I'm sitting here right now and I'm looking at a package I recently received from a company called Woobles. This is not sponsored. I have anxiety issues. I need something to do with my hands. I get bored. And so I wanted to purchase this thing where I learned to crochet. Okay. And it's pretty cool. It's a starter kit and it teaches you how to crochet. All right. I saw it one time, people. I was scrolling through Instagram and it said, "Would you like to learn to crochet?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'd love to learn to crochet. Shoot. Yeah." And it's like, all you have to do is buy this kit and it comes with everything you need, the needle and the yarn, and you can make this cute little penguin. And I was like, oh my God, I love that penguin. It's so cute. I'm going to name him. And so I bought it. I'd never seen that ad before a day in my life. I didn't know those people from Job, but I bought it because I wanted it.
But there are people out there that would say, well, Jess, you're just impulsive.
Yeah,
That's all.
Also, it's something wrong with me because I buy things without needing to see the damn message 40 million times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, anyway. So this episode, we're going to talk about this bullshit myth. And and what you need to be focusing on instead. So, like I said, the myth is bullshit. Do people need to see your message? Yes. And depending on what you are selling and the price point at which you are selling it, they are going to need to see it a little bit more. So, for example, if I am buying an online course and the course is $5,000, I probably need to see a few messages from the associated guru because I want to make sure that they are not a scam artist and that they know what the hell they're talking about. Okay. If I'm going to drop that much money, I kind of want to get to know you a little bit better. My Wooble, on the other hand, was what, $30? Okay. And it also didn't help that when I clicked the link, it said, "Hey, this company's in North Carolina." I was like, "Oh, support hometown." So that made me feel, a little bit better about buying. But when it comes down to it, if you are selling something that is getting traction, meaning people are taking to it, they're liking your posts, they're commenting, you are seeing purchases, the likelihood that you need to have a million different touch points is going to be lower. Now, what does that mean for you? That means, believe it or not, less effort by way of marketing and content creation. So that's a good thing. I don't want you guys to go out there and waste hours and days creating goo gobs amount of content thinking that, they need 7 touch points. So if I have a podcast, if I have articles, if I have a blog post, if I do reels, if I do TikToks, if I do an article on LinkedIn, and if I do carousel posts on Instagram, then if they see all of that, then I'll be made. No.
What's the likelihood that that individual that needs what you have to offer will be on all of those platforms? Get real.
The likelihood is not there, people. Like, do you really understand the amount of time it would take for somebody to see to genuinely and organically see all of your touch points? If I'm only following you on Instagram, or I'm not following you on Instagram, I have to see your post 7 times organically, which means I'm not following you. By organically, I mean not following you, just your stuff pops up in my feed. Okay? The likelihood that that's going to happen is slim to none. So what do you have to do? Well, now you got to go buy ads. I can say, depending on how much money you put into your ad, you can say, "Oh, I want my ad to be shown to people on average 7 times." Now that's going to cost you a ton of money. I mean, yeah.
You coming out of pocket.
You coming out of pocket, baby. It's going to cost you. And so, maybe you're right. Maybe there is a conspiracy. Maybe the people that are keeping this whole touch point thing going is Mark Zuckerberg.
Not saying, allegedly.
Allegedly. I feel like I need that little button that goes dun dun dun. Mark Zuckerberg. The conspiracy of Mark Zuckerberg and the touch points.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Dun dun dun.
So, I think it's all about ads, and I think, like you were saying, back in the day when this was a thing, it was, you need these many touch points. You need to have, a radio ad, a TV ad, a print ad in magazines, a print ad in the newspaper. You need to have a billboard. You need to have flyers. Like, you needed all of these things.
Because marketing back then, it was a smaller world.
It was, but it had less places for you to put your message.
Yes, it did. And so, you could, that was back during the time people would share a flyer.
Right.
They would tear something out the newspaper, and we didn't have email and all of that. So I'm dating myself. But just to just so you know the history.
Mhm.
You would mail somebody, look, this is
Mhm.
what I'm getting ready to buy.
Right.
The order mail address is down there. You need to order it too.
Mhm.
We don't do that now.
Right.
We just click share
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
say, buy this.
Mhm.
And oftentimes people will buy it because you trust your friends and your family and the people who are significant in your life.
Right, exactly. And if you don't believe us, if you don't believe what we're saying, I want you to go to Mima and Pawpaw's house. This weekend, I want you to go over to Mima and Pawpaw's house and ask Mima and Pawpaw, say, hey, do you have any old clippings? I guarantee you,
Mhm.
they have a newspaper clipping. Okay, so baby, like there is something that they have kept over the years from something that they wanted to remember or
Mhm.
something. That is how we shared things.
Yes.
It wasn't. I remember my grandmother getting clippings in the mail from her family down in Louisiana. They were like, "Look at this in the paper." Like, and today, you're right. You just click that little arrow
Mhm.
icon and send it to whoever you want to
Mhm.
send it to.
Mhm.
So, if you don't need these touch points anymore, what do you need?
Mm.
Okay. So here's my 2 cents, folks. Okay. And this is based off of 23 years doing this, which isn't a lot, but I mean, it ain't 5 years. I got a little bit more skin in the game. But when you are when you are trying to get people to influence people into purchasing one of your products or services, one or more of your products or services, you need to identify for them the benefit. Okay. It is not, so many companies put the onus on the customer. You can't see where I'm amazing. No, they can't see where you're amazing. It's your job to make them see that. No, they're
Mhm.
not going to just see it. You have to be out there showcasing how amazing you are. Now, what I will tell you is while you don't need 7, 14, 50 touch points, it may take a few posts or more than a few posts for them to even see one,
Mm.
especially if you're not buying ads. So that's why consistency is key. You can't just put one post out there and say, well, they don't need 7 touch points. They'll see this. No, they probably won't.
So when you say you still have to get out there. So
Mhm.
if you're just on, let's just say that Instagram and yeah, let's go there. Instagram and LinkedIn are
Mhm.
your thing. You're a professional and you want to get your word out and you want to get around people who can appreciate what you have to do.
Yeah.
Um so let's take Instagram first. Let's take LinkedIn next. Instagram. So how much do I put out there? I mean, what are my touch points going to be? I mean, do I post 2 times a week? Do I
Mhm.
post once a week?
Mhm.
Do I post 5 times? Do I do stories? Or is it going to be a combination of things? If I'm on LinkedIn, which is a completely different beast, do I don't know. Do people use LinkedIn? I don't know.
Yeah, they use it. They use it. So I, I am not, and I'm not going to call them any names, but I'm not a guru.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
There is no magic potion. There's no magic bullet. There's no I
I'm
know
grasping my
proverbial pearls.
yes. I just knew there was just a magic answer.
There's no magic answer. This is all um kind of trial and error. And I know a lot of people like to, they'll get out there and they will, have done something and they succeeded at it and it
Mhm.
shocked them. And so they say, oh, well, I'm going to create a course around how I got from point A to point B, and people will pay me millions of dollars and I'll be super rich. And they're giving you information that worked for them. And that's great that it worked for them. And I applaud them. But what works for one person is not going to work for everyone. That's not the way any of this works. Like, that's not how this works. So, you're going to have to get out there and post content. How much content? I don't know.
Mhm.
You need to figure that out. What does that mean? That means put 2 posts out there.
Mhm.
Start with 2 reels. Start with 2 reels. Put it out there. How are people taking it? And I don't mean put 2 reels out there on a Monday and by Thursday, if nobody's clicked on it, you're a big fat failure and you're just going to walk away. No, do it. Do it for a month of Sundays.
Mhm.
Do it for a month of Sundays, okay? And see how people react. Are you getting a ton of reactions and followers and likes?
Mhm.
Okay, what happens if you do 3?
Mhm. Okay.
Find your sweet spot because it's a combination of how much does your audience, your target audience, not my target audience,
Mhm.
your target audience, how much does your target audience want to hear from you?
Mm.
They may
Okay.
not want to hear from you every day. You may run out of things to say. You
Mhm.
may run out of relevant content.
Hmm.
There's a very small YouTuber that I love to watch. She's over in oh God, where is she? She's in London.
England?
Yeah, she's over in London. Yep,
London.
little London girl, woman, this grown woman, but little London person, and I like her stuff because she does a lot of English afternoon teas. So she goes around to the different restaurants and she shows what afternoon tea is like at all the different, upscale hotels and things. Wonderful. She put a video out where she went to a museum and it didn't get a lot of views. It didn't get a lot of, you know,
Mhm.
and she's trying to figure out what type of content she can post out there so that she's doing 2 videos a week.
Mhm.
And I wanted to tell her, sweetie, it may be that your people only want to hear from you once a week.
Mhm.
That's what it may be. It may be that people just want to hear from you once a week.
Wow.
Now, what do you do in that situation?
You post once a
You
week
post once a week.
until you start posting and your followers or the people that are subscribed to your channel start saying, we'd like to hear from you more.
Exactly. Or try another platform.
Hmm.
Baby, the people on TikTok are not the people on Instagram. And TikTok people are very adamant that they are not Instagram people. And Instagram people are very adamant that they are not TikTok people. I, on the other hand, don't care. I pledge allegiance to no one. I will hip hop and jump around from platform to platform. If I get bored over here, I'll go to someplace else. I don't have an allegiance. But like strong TikTok people. I mean, the government here in the United States is trying to take TikTok away from these people. These people are going, there's going to be an uprising. These people are not playing games. You're not going to take their TikTok from their, what did the man say? Cold dead hands? Like,
Hmm.
Americans love their TikTok like they love their guns. They are not playing with you. So, you know, TikTok people are TikTok people, Instagram people are Instagram people. So what you may be able to do is if you're used to posting, on Instagram twice a week and you really want to um, uh, get a bigger audience or expand your reach, but doing 3 reels a week doesn't seem to be working for you, try a new platform.
Mhm.
See if you can't not expand your reach by identifying a different subset of your audience.
Mm. Wow.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, and it's kind of like, I sell my products to Southerners down here in the southern part of the United States.
Mhm.
What would happen if I started selling to um, North people living in the Northeast? That's a whole different demographic. There are business owners
Mhm.
in the Northeast. Like your demographic lives on other platforms.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, and live in different parts of the world.
Exactly. So I say all of that to say, if you're not, it's because you don't need to focus on touch points doesn't necessarily mean you need to stop creating content.
Okay.
You still need to get your message out there, and you need to understand that putting out one TikTok does not mean that it's going to show up on every For You page, even though you put the hashtag For You page or FYP. I love that. I'm like, has anybody ever proven that putting the hashtag FYP on a TikTok ensures that it reaches more For You pages?
No.
But people religiously
Well,
do it.
wait, if you have, please let us hear
Let
from you.
us know. I want to know. Has anybody is this a proven thing? I actually haven't done the research in quite a while. It was COVID when I first noticed it, and I Googled it because I wanted to know. Google knows everything. That's the original expert. Like and the original shyster, in my opinion, because Google will have you thinking that you need to immediately go to the emergency room.
Yeah,
and
Dr. Google is Dr. Google is a serious part of many of our lives.
Right? Like you will go to Google and swear up and down that you are dying. And there is nothing wrong with you. But it's okay. But you go to Google and you hope that he's telling the truth. And I didn't see where anybody had proven this. So, and I haven't checked as of late. Maybe I'll do that next week sometime and look and see if that actually makes a difference.
Well, if she checks, we'll report back to you.
I will report back to you to see. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today.
Okay.
I needed to put my 2 cents out there that this whole myth around touch points just, is a carryover from a time when it was necessary. I don't necessarily believe that it's a thing now. So there are things you can stress about in your business. This don't need to be one.
And the thing is, I don't think many people realize, but marketing in 2024, it has changed.
Yeah.
And we don't even talk about the transitions. It's like we talk about trends. That's what we talk about, but we don't talk about the real transitions that are going on from the past to the present.
Right.
So don't take everything at face value.
No, you got to do your research.
You do.
Even when your favorite guru comes out and tells you to do X, Y, and Z, trust but verify, ladies and gentlemen. Trust but verify. All right. Well, that's the end of this episode with Conversations with a Digital Strategist. I am so glad that you were able to join us today. If you have something you want to add to the conversation, check out the description box wherever you are listening to this podcast. Check out the description box. There's a link in there, and you can come on over to the website and sign up. You do have to sign up to be able to post comments and questions and join the conversation. And we do that because, the trolls and the spam, I just can't. But if you sign up, you can join the conversation. You can ask us questions. You can provide your own opinions and just join into the conversation.
And have a very nice environment to do that.
Exactly. We're not over here judging anybody.
Nope.
And any question you ask, there are no okay, I'm not going to say there's no stupid questions, but any question, I'm not going to say that. Not in 2024. There's some dumb questions out there. But if you have some genuine questions about using digital strategy to push your business forward, we invite you to come on over and join the conversation with a digital strategist.
Yes, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.